What's going on, guys? Roman the Romer here. I'm here with Fields of Profit. Super excited to have him. He came on like a 10-minute notice. I'm just like, I'm going through, I'm sourcing right now, and I'm actually going through your course, by the way, which is fucking awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
And by the way, I titled this video that you've sold 100,000 plus in the last 30 days. Is that true? Like that you've spent
Yeah.
100,000
Yeah.
on inventory?
Yeah. Yeah. I have 180 on my MX right now. It's you spend until you're scared, right?
Jeez. So yeah, that's why I'm bringing you on because you're the expert, and I'm actually like you're the perfect guest. I asked like five other people. Jameson, shout out Jameson, he bailed on me last minute. Flips for Miles was supposed to come. Everyone bailed. So actually, like I asked everyone like the day of, so it's not their fault. Um,
If you give
but yeah, what I
everybody
want
10
to do
minutes.
today, yeah, and you're the one that made it. So here we are. Really, what I want to do is I kind of want to document my journey learning OA. And right now, I'm kind of at the stage where like I feel super confident, but I'm probably making some mistakes that I'm not seeing. So I would
Yeah.
like every lead I sent you, not every lead, but most of the leads I sent you, I think are really good. So I emailed you those. So if you want to share your screen, I could share my screen, but as I was telling you before this video, my laptop's being super weird and it's been crashing on me a lot because it's been overheating. So I will try to share my screen first, but if anything weird happens, just know, guys, it's because my laptop sucks.
Sounds good.
About my sourcing strategy, and Warner teaches this. Basically, what I've been doing is store stocking people. So you want to tell them a little bit about what store stocking is, Warner?
Yeah. Yeah. Storefront stalking, reverse searching, whatever you want to call it. It's basically like, when you first start selling, like you can invest in all the fancy tools, all the tactical arbitrage, the tactical expander, all that, or you can just replicate exactly what those guys are doing by just looking through their storefront. Mostly using a tool called SellerAmp is going to make that process way faster. And yeah, you just look through their product, look at you're looking at Keepa, all the normal stuff that you're vetting, except you're basically looking at like almost a bad leads list almost, just because the stuff they're selling at least at one point was profitable. So it's reasonable that some of the stuff they're selling is still going to be good items. So you just got to
Yeah.
combine that with like knowledge of different sales, different coupons, all that kind of stuff, and that's how you really like elevate your game there.
So here's one of my products, and I've been sourcing a lot of Nike. The reason why I've been focusing on Nike is because um, I run a service called Restricted Inventory for anyone that doesn't know. And so is like when you sell products that most people are restricted, the price tanks less often because there's generally, at least in tech books, there's fewer people that awesome it is.
You're cutting out a little bit if you can hear me.
Maybe that's not true. Oh no, brand at the demand. Okay.
I think we're caught up. You're frozen now.
Um,
I can screen share. I think
oh god.
your bandwidth can't handle screen sharing and and
No, I can't. I'm at
time.
my parents' house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you had like this visor up, I think.
Yeah. You can just pull up any of them actually. It doesn't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
matter.
Um, share my screen. All right, so this should be what you were looking at. If you want to throw the screen share on screen there.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, was this the right one or was it like a white
yeah,
variant?
yep, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
So I love this. Yeah, I love what you have to the right there. Seller Amp, guys. Seller Amp is fucking amazing. Like it has great software. Like it has everything you need in terms of, I would say like almost everything. It's got the keeper graph, it's got the profit, it calculates the ROI. You can click on that Google link at the top, and it actually
Yeah,
opens
that's
up
right here. It's cool.
and
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
do a Google search on Google right there. And if you guys look, this is super cool with OA. All of these, and I learned all this from Warner, all of these are from different stores. you can literally just I forgot that we can Google shit to buy. Like I'm so Amazoned out that I go on Amazon to
Yeah.
buy everything. You can Google stuff to buy and like 20 different stores will show up. And you can just go through and click on the various stores. And also something I don't know if you use this feature, Warner, but I was messing around with it, and it's kind of like Scout IQ. So if you go down to settings, you can change the profit triggers. So just like
Yeah.
a lot of my
Yeah.
audience is booksellers, so we can
Mhm.
change the and this is really cool if Scout IQ could do this, but it has like the ROI minimum. Scout IQ doesn't even do this. Like you can set the ROI for 20%
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
turns green if it meets the ROI. So like there's a lot of cool stuff you can do on the back end with this. And then you can also add
So
all this
like,
information directly into a Google spreadsheet. Do you use that feature at all by any
yeah,
chance?
that's how we track everything with our VA team. So they
Okay.
each have like I'm not going to click it, but like if I clicked this, it would be all their names, and they just click their name, and then it sends that lead to their sheet. So that's how we track like how each VA is performing and
Oh,
stuff.
cool. So you can add their name to it. So you can add different tags.
Yeah, so we have I have about 20 Google Sheets on there right now with our whole team. So each
Why do
one
you
of
have
them,
that many?
a lot of them like are finding the leads for our leads list, but several of those work for me. Um, but they're all
Wait,
doing
wait, you
pretty
have
much.
20, oh, 20 different VAs, you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, gotcha. I thought you meant 20 different. What, or do you mean 20 different sheets?
yeah. It's I mean each VA has their own sheet, so yeah,
Oh,
there's
okay,
about.
each VA has their own sheet. Okay, I thought you meant like you had the tag being their name and then it added it to a single spreadsheet
Oh,
with all
gotcha.
your
Yeah,
leads.
yeah.
It's not that. It's
No,
everyone has their own spreadsheet.
yeah, and it's really nice because you can like custom configure. So I've got it like custom configured to pull like all the info, like the data that I really care about. ROI, sales per month, all that kind of stuff. And so they're not copying and pasting a bunch of stuff. Um,
Gotcha.
I see
So
yeah, yeah.
let's see. I at one point in time I could have gotten this for $19. I think it was only well actually let's see. Is that 19?
Yeah, it's 17, it's 16.99, and then I think like the upgraded version is 22, I think.
I'm talking about the buy cost for
Oh,
oh, you're
gotcha.
talking about for the
Um,
visor?
yeah, yeah, I thought you were talking. I was answering that somebody was asking how much Stellar Amp is.
Okay,
Um,
gotcha.
so you were buying this. I'm pretty sure. I know where you were buying these. You were buying these for 15.
Okay. At one point, but no longer
Yeah,
can
yeah,
I buy them for
yeah,
15.
yeah. So buying these at 15. Right now I think they're 20. So definitely not worth it at 20. What was this the right variation? Was it the slower selling one like this?
I think it was the white one.
Okay. Um, let me
Usually
see.
black does better than white, right? On
Yeah,
average,
usually,
or
but it could be like a different listing. That's the lead it took me to. I can pull up a different lead. Um, Figure out how to do this without leaking things. This is
yeah.
why I don't screen share my screen on
That's
lives
actually kind of my goal of this video.
to get me to leak something.
Yeah. That's why I
Let's
put you on at short notice, man.
all right, I've got your sheet pulled up over here. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like it was the women's white was the difference. This was like the men's black, I think, is what we're looking at. So this should be the right thing now. Yeah, so this is a weird keepa, first of all. Sales rank like isn't showing up at all. So this is some live nuggets when you don't see the sales rank, like it's all weird, like the sales rank's gone from the keep a chart like this.
Yeah.
Go to the offers tab and you can see exactly how fast people are selling their stuff. So this is like, it's that's a live nugget there. You gotta like a lot of people would look at this and it's like, oh, I have no idea how fast it's selling. But like we can look at this and see like this guy had 27 in stock on the 18th, and then he had like 7, then he went back up to 16, now he's down to 1. So he's really kind of moving
Yeah.
a good amount of these. Like 39 is probably
And
not
that's
far.
under the variations or offers.
Yeah, data and then offers.
Okay.
So this guy's been moving them pretty quickly at $29. So that's what I would probably compare the prices to here. Like the offers tab's crazy because you can see exactly what day he was selling it for which price and how many he sold on that day. So um, it's a ton of information there. So we're selling these for 29. If we're buying these for 15, it seems pretty solid.
Wait, how do you
Um,
know what he was selling them for?
yeah. So right over here is his price history, and here's
Oh,
his stock.
his price
Yeah. Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
That's really cool. If you go back to the main keeper graph, like the main page,
Yeah.
do you have buy box selected? Yeah, you do.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
little
Yep.
buy box, that little triangle, your screen is really small for people that can't see. But if you want to zoom in a little bit on, yeah, is that accurate? That because in the book world, somebody once told me that it wasn't accurate, but everybody in the OA world is telling me that it's more or less accurate.
Yeah,
That buy box
the
price.
buy box line is extremely accurate. It's like in the book world, you're usually looking at the black line. Like I'm looking at the buy box line.
Yeah. Okay. But I
Yeah,
mean, even that little triangle, which is like the buy box. What's the triangle? Is the FBA buy
yeah.
box?
The triangle doesn't necessarily mean they were buy boxing. It just means that was the lowest FBA at that point. Like right now, the buy box is suppressed because it thinks it's overpriced, whatever. For whatever reason, it's suppressed. So right now, like it's split between FBA and FBM, and so the only way you can buy this right now, well, I guess the buy box might have come back like right now because it's here. Um, in theory, there's not supposed to be a buy box, and you're supposed to have to click through all the sellers and stuff, and then
Yeah.
pick. Obviously, most people are going to pick the cheapest FBA price.
And is that a red flag when you go to a listing and there's no buy box? Does that mean the listing overall is doing worse? Or
Yeah, it's not always a bad thing if there's no buy box. Like I in this case, I wish there was a sales rank line thrown up here for whatever reason, keep us glitching out here. And a lot of times you'll see like an item when it had a buy box, it was selling like crazy fast. And then like maybe like right around here where the buy box goes away, that if that green sales rank line like shoots straight up and it just stops selling, then that's kind of a red flag. But if it continues, like it's probably gonna be a little slower, but a lot of times it'll keep continuing and still be a good item.
gotcha. All right, I'm gonna drop a different item in here,
Yep.
and hopefully I don't spoil anything with this website. I don't think it's a super popular website, but that actually is one of my questions. Let me go in the private chat. Send that to you. There's two
Yeah.
links in there. One, and I'll go ahead and I mean, unless you're like selling this product yourself, you don't feel
No,
comfortable
I don't.
sharing
Yeah,
it.
I don't mind. I don't mind. It's up
Okay,
there.
cool. So I just found this like 15 minutes ago, and I'm like, based on my knowledge, I'm like, this is a good product to sell. I can
Hmm.
get this for 28 bucks. If you actually want to open up that other website, it's fine.
The uh the seller app stores your history here, so it looks like my VA team found this for 28 bucks too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If there's something plugged in here, it means my team's been here.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. So 28 bucks is what it's selling for. And then I thought the website was like, I didn't know if it was a good website or not. What's your policy? Like, do you have a list of websites you just don't purchase from?
No, but what we do, most of the time your team or you're gonna be looking on websites like Walmart and Target. Like, oh, I know I can trust this website. Like I've walked into a store with this logo on it before. But if you're ever like unsure, we always plug those websites into Trustpilot, or like Scam
Okay.
Advisor, one of those websites. And if they have like bad reviews or like two reviews, those are a good sign that the website's probably gonna scam you.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Um, so bad websites, 'cause occasionally I come like not just like having a bad reputation, but like slow shipping time and stuff. Is that like a concern? If you're not buying from like Walmart or like a major website, are you concerned with shipping time
Um,
being
Yeah, at a small scale, you might be. Like if I had $1,000 and I was throwing my money, I probably wouldn't go to a website with that I didn't super trust or thought might ship in 2 weeks or whatever. But a lot of the times, if you're buying from those websites that you're a little like sussed out by, typically it's not going to be like super high volume. Like it'll be your high ROI, like super profitable hitters. So usually it's worth like waiting for those websites to ship if they are going to be a little bit slower. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like all that comes down to like how you treat your cash flow in your business. Like if you're super light on cash, like you got to make sure you're getting it there in 2 days, shipping it out the same day, like fast. But if you've got capital, then you can start to take risks like that.
You probably go over this in the course, but what else in that Google spreadsheet when you have your team sourcing for you? If you can just walk us through real quick from like left to right, what the tab heading is. Like, okay, obviously you have like the ASIN, you have the
Right.
Amazon link.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So it's got the date they exported it, and that's how we track like how well they're doing per day. Product name, ASIN, category, store, and then store link. Those are the only two things they have to do manually. So they'll say like Walmart, and here's the Walmart link. The rest of it all gets autofilled as soon as they press the button on Seller
Do
Amp.
they put in sourcing strategy? So if they did like a store stocking technique versus
No, no.
okay,
That might be useful to track data. It'd probably take a lot of time for them to manage all that, but that could be worth looking into. But then beyond that, you've got like the Amazon URL, your cost, profit, ROI, sales rank, estimated sales, how many people are on it, and then they have like a column for like, hey, use this coupon code, make sure we're going to get the lowest price we can. Like this is based on a sale that expires tonight. Make sure you check this out like as soon as possible. That kind of stuff is what they'll put in like a
gotcha.
note column.
And for these different websites, is there like a pattern for when coupons are really hot? Like, is there a trend for these different websites of like when to? Because I sourced a bunch of leads last week,
Yep.
got really lazy, didn't purchase in time, and all the prices went up.
Yep.
And now I'm just waiting for them to go back down. Are you noticing seasonality or not seasonality, but trends with these websites?
Yeah. So you'll see the same sales roll back around, and a lot of your best replens will be based on rolling coupons. Because if the item's just sitting there profitable every day, all day, then it's probably not going to stay profitable for long. Like maybe one cycle you can get in there, make profit on it. But if it's on like a revolving basis where a couple of you are the only ones who can make profit, like once 1 week out of every 8 weeks, then yeah, it's going to make a big difference.
Gotcha. We got some questions rolling in. If you guys have questions about anything, feel free to drop them below. Also, I did link your course below as well, just
Oh,
because
cool.
like
Yeah.
I'm going through it right now. It's fucking amazing. If anyone else wants to go through it, just click that link below, and it gives you access. Flips for Miles and Field to Profit. They both created this course, and it's really good. So those are free content on YouTube. So if you guys don't want to buy a course, just go check out Field to Profit on YouTube. He's got great content, step by step, showing you how to do exactly this right here. And these guys are living it. Like these motherfuckers are crazy. They just together they've almost bought $200,000 worth of inventory in the last 30 days. 180,000, I think. Both of you have been like spending like crazy. Is that right?
Yeah.
He spent 80,000, you
Yeah.
spent 100.
Yeah, we're at like 200 together so far in April, and yeah,
Jeez.
if you count the last
Oh,
30 days,
just for April. Just
yeah,
for April.
if you count the last 30 days, we're probably close to 400.
Oh my gosh.
We're definitely over 300 together, but yeah, we've been going a little crazy.
Jeez, you guys are fucking animals. So like so
Yeah,
many people on YouTube and just the online space in general, full of shit, And so I love seeing people actually out there doing it, especially something like this, because
yeah,
the difference between what you guys are doing and like what Amazon Lit, Watch Me Amazon, like all these other guys, like I love those guys, but what they're doing is like not relatable to a lot of people. But what you guys are doing is relatable for somebody who just has like 500 bucks, you know?
yeah.
And that's really fucking cool. Oh, by the way, what's your opinion on how big you can scale an OA business?
Yeah, my opinion keeps changing on this as I get bigger. I'm like, oh, I mean, um, and I mean, if you know Trader Soros on Twitter, he does like 10 million a year with just arbitrage. So obviously the ceiling is minimum 10 million a year. But like I was talking to Miles about like some of the sales that were happening recently. I was like, I think I could spend $1 million on this sale alone. So like I feel like the ceiling's got it like 15 to 20 million. Like you could get super high. You just have to build like crazy good systems, like outsource as much as
When you
possible.
say a sale, are you talking about for like one whole storefront or like a specific item?
You like website wide sales, are we gonna be able to drop like
Okay,
a bunch of money?
gotcha.
But yeah,
Ho-
I mean, I used to think the ceiling was 250 a month, but hopefully, like within the next month or two, I'll be at 300 a month. Um, with the way spending's going. So I mean, like I don't even know. Like sky's the limit at this point.
and wait, so you have 20 VAs working for you?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot. They're all sourcing, or
So I have one manager who manages them. So I don't do a lot of the day to day interaction with them. And I have an editor for social media, but the rest of them are all just product sourcers.
okay. What management tips would you have for like a team that big?
Um, yeah,
Like,
it's
how are you tracking each individual VA's productivity? Are they sending you KPIs for each one? Are you tracking how many good leads is so and
yeah,
so?
yeah. Yeah, so we track amount of good leads, especially for our leads list. That's the best KPI because our deliverable is good leads. Um, so we track in terms of like anytime they have a lead that's good. Our manager VA actually set up some like custom Google Sheets code. I was like, how did you do this? So that anytime he colored a cell green, it like counts towards their monthly total, and then anything else is like a negative. And then he'll kind of write some feedback in there along with we use purple. I don't like to use red because psychology of opening their sheet, seeing a bunch of red. And then there's like a little bit of a note for how they can improve. So we count in terms of how many good leads they found. For my personal team, I'm thinking of switching it to the amount of dollars I was able to spend on their stuff and giving them like a percentage based bonus because I think that's a
Yeah.
better way of incentivizing, especially for your own team. So still trying to figure that out. But he sends me like midway through the month report, like this person has 70 good leads, this person has 50 good leads. And if anyone's like really high, like I'll say, congrats, like what are you doing? Sometimes the people who are doing really well, I'll like, hey, can you like make a document of what you're doing in a day, and then I'll read it, and like sometimes I'll like learn things from what they're doing, and I'll use that to help train the people who aren't doing as hot as those guys.
Okay, you may have
um,
already answered this, but I forgot if you did. What's the main sourcing strategy they're using?
Uh, it depends on the VA. Like some of them are like crazy good at TA. Others are going to be just firing away with seller amp storefront stocking all day. It just depends on what they're good at. Like I would say our best VAs are using like a combination. Like start of the day, or really at the end of
Yeah,
the day, they're setting up a bunch of scans, going through that at the beginning of the day, starting more, and then reverse searching while the scans are running.
gotcha. What are the telltale signs that somebody's an arbitrage seller? So like when you store stock somebody, do you have an example? Like click on
Like
somebody's store, I guess, right
let's
now.
do it right here. Like I guarantee you. Like so first thing I'm looking at is review count. Like
Yes.
this guy with three reviews, I can almost guarantee you is an arbitrager. Whereas like these guys with several
But like
hundred,
somebody with 3 reviews, are you store stocking them? Because it's like they don't have much history.
a lot of times guys who don't have a lot of review don't know how to protect their margin. So you can go in and make a bunch of like one-time flip plays off of them. So like this guy, like right away, I can see Ulta has it for $5.99. When next time a coupon rolls back around, I'll be profitable enough that this is a good item.
So wait,
Um,
what page are you on right now? How'd you get to this page?
you just click one of the sellers on Seller Amp.
Oh, and then it opens up their storefront.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Nice. What I was doing was I was opening up their storefront link, but I
mhm.
wasn't seeing like I like the way this displays more because I was having to click manually on each one. This is even better.
Yeah, because the old way to do reverse sourcing, you would like click on this guy's storefront, um,
Yes.
and then you'd have to like manually just like see what they're selling, right?
Yep.
And like these prices are just what they're selling it for. Like it doesn't mean anything for the listing. But like this showing you the buy box, showing you what you have to pay for it. This is definitely a good product right here. Like knowing what I know about these products, like this is a good product.
Yeah.
uh, so I apologize to this seller, but but like I don't know, just for an example, like we can click on this guy who's got like 560 something feedback. And it gets a lot more like it gets a lot trickier to see where they're getting this stuff from. Like this is probably a wholesale because there's no way I can get this for $6.38 retail when everyone's selling it for $15, right? So I can look at this right away and be like, oh, Amazon's on it, like way too expensive. Like this guy's probably a wholesaler.
Have you noticed helping so many people? Like your Discord's at like 18, 19,000 now.
Yeah.
Have you noticed like when you tell somebody about a lead, like we're here on my YouTube channel, I don't think that many people are going to take these leads. But have you noticed like if you go on YouTube and you share a lead, like even like you just did,
Mhm.
have you noticed like, oh, I'm gonna buy it anyway because I don't think anyone's gonna buy it, and like, do you just notice like 20 new sellers hop on it, or is that
Actually,
not the
actually,
case?
I have a fun example of this. I've been doing an experiment on this. Let me this item right here, I've shown in so many pieces of content, like 10 TikTok videos, like 2 YouTube videos, and it's still profitable. So like I started showing it to people like on TikTok and stuff when it was like right here. It was like an amazing item, but it's
Yeah,
still like there's 23 sellers on it now, but it's still a 65% ROI, and it's been in like hundreds of thousands of people have seen this item because of TikTok and that kind of stuff, and it's still profitable. It's still sitting here, so I
yeah,
don't
but
think
there's
people
certainly
take.
been an
Yeah,
increase in the number of sellers. I wonder if that was caused by you.
I would imagine that this I would imagine like half this bump is me at least. But like out of the hundreds of thousands who was like, hey, I can buy that and go make $7 a unit right now, they just said, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. We got some credit card questions coming in here. What I mean, what is the max credit you can get from credit cards? I guess maybe a better you can answer that, but then if you want to give like your tips on like what you think, what credit cards do you think people should use starting out?
Yeah. I mean, as far as max credit, like, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there with multi-million dollar credit limits. Like, there's probably no max credit. But if you're trying to like start building your credit, which based on the question, you probably need to open an account and start building your business credit. I would get the Amex Business Blue. That's probably a good place to start. They pretty much approve anyone.
And
And then
why is
once you're
that?
ready, what's up?
And that's a credit card, but why would
Yeah.
you okay, why would you,
Um,
recommend that?
yeah. I mean, they just pretty much approve anyone. So if you have no business credit, like that's a good place to start. Um, and then if you're wanting to like, and you can get decent business cards, you want to get a credit card with a giant spending limit, then go like MX Business Gold or go like Capital One Spark, like any of those cards that you can. Basically, they have no hard limit. Like I got an angry text from Amex the other day saying, "Yo, your balance is way too high. We're gonna put you on a temporary hold. Upload some bank documents." And so I uploaded it. They're like, "All right, you're good. You got cash to back it up. Like you're solid." I don't
Yeah.
know what they would do if you're like, "Yeah, I ran up 200 and I don't know what I'm gonna do about it."
Send them a
Um,
screenshot of your Amazon inventory, see what they say.
yeah, yeah. Here you go, Amex. I turned it into like a million bottles of soap.
All
uh,
right, I think that's about it for tonight. We should do this more often, for sure, but, do you have any last words on where people can find you? Any tips?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you want to learn more about OA, I make videos about OA, mostly OA, like twice a week, right here, Fields of Profit, there on pretty much any social media platform, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Check me out over there. Feel free to shoot me a DM or anything if you came from here. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, and as Avery mentioned, should be below. We have the FBA roadmap, teach you how to do all this in detail if you're interested in that.
Yeah,
But
awesome
yeah,
course.
good to be on here and chat with you, Avery.
100%. Thanks for coming on, man.